Hi, it's Stuart from Wayward Music again. Just going to do a short video on producing the high tones from the cajon. We've already dealt with the bass tones, if you remember, playing in the middle or the side and playing in the top 6 inches. What we want to produce in contrast to that is the snare sound, typically like a snare drum on playing the backbeat on a drum kit. And to do that, we move our hands up the cajon so that rather than striking with the whole palm of the hand or with the fronts of those fingers onto the drum, we're actually now playing in the upper regions, and these fingers are just basically hitting onto the cajon and bouncing off. So if I actually turn this very slightly sideways, you can see when I hit, my fingers are very slightly off the cajon, but when I hit, these are sort of catapulted onto the front, and that gives that particular snare sound. So, again, thinking just playing in this top region so we can stay sat in a good posture. There are different ways of producing snare sounds. We can produce a slightly fuller sound, and again a more traditional sound, which is by playing with the knuckles in line with the top of the drum here. So we're hitting onto the head, the fingers are catapulting onto the snare to produce that nice rattly sound, but then they're coming off again. But because they're hitting a little bit further down the face here, they're also going to pull out some of those slightly deeper sounds. So you get a much fuller snare sound. So this will be the snare sound. Okay. Now what we can do is we can use that same action and move our fingers up just a little bit, and now we're beginning to strike in these areas here where the wood, the front tapper face, or in this case carbon fibre, is actually smaller. So now we're moving almost like from a big face drum to a smaller drum. We're getting little areas which are going to resonate at a higher frequency, and so we get a slightly higher tone on the snare. So if we play this time probably with just the front half of the knuckles, so from the middle of your fingers forward to the ends, you'll get a higher tone. Okay, so we have the traditional tone. Okay, and you may notice there I'm just moving slightly in. As I move across the drum here, you'll get more and more of the bottom tone coming in. So okay, and the same with the other hand, of course. Now, on a lot of drums, one thing that people don't realise is that you have quite a variety of snare sounds that you can produce. So if you play at the edge, you get higher tones. But this middle section here, for whatever reason, the snare sound is almost like going up in terms of the size of snare drum. So instead of being a nice high poppy sound, in this region it's a deeper snare sound. So just to summarise what we've done the high stroke, full hand, deeper, richer snare sound. We've done the high tone using just the ends of the fingers. And we've also played in the middle with a slightly deeper sound. So, just putting those together, we can work across. And that is the beauty of the cajon. There are different tones that you can make, there are different strokes that you can play, but depending on where you choose to place them, you can produce your own characteristic sound. So that hopefully gives you an idea of how to create the high tones and the next short video we're going to do is just show you one or two other tones that we can produce to add a little bit of variety.